So what do we have? The first rates on your screen, 15 points, 12 points, 25,023, now in the red. So it's like pretty similar to the kind of open we had yesterday, the kind of market we had yesterday. Although through the course of the day, you had, I think, 3-4 these 40-point bumps which got sold into. So we'll see if we have some similar kind of session. Nothing, 3 or 3.5 odd point change. We've got the Sensex, which is up about 25 points, 81,733. The Bank Nifty is down about 100 points, 51,174. The IT index is up about 155 points, which is about 1/3%. So that's essentially what you have right at the word go. And, what 4:1 in terms of advances to decline ratio at this point. But all about stocks, so let's take it to what's happening.
I checked out BSE at the start just to see if the excitement is even rubbing off, and it is. BSE started about 3% on the higher side, and actually some of the headline makers, NBCC, we flagged off this stock because of the bonus that the company is looking at, 6% higher, and Office is the other one. Keep your eye out on this one, on the big deal that they've signed for their expansion, 6% here. But anyway, back to the large cap screen. That's about 14 up on the Nifty right now. LTIMindtree, Wipro, Infosys. So it's technology to begin with. That's where the big buying seems to be. M&M seems to be putting on about 0.7% as well. There's Cipla in the mix. Bajaj Finance is trying to build on yesterday's gains and momentum, but actually then it's fizzling out. Reliance is just at the borderline with a gain of about 9 to 10 rupees at this point in time, and then it completely fizzles out. On the downside, Shriram Finance, after yesterday's big rallies, losing about 0.5%. Divis, Axis Bank, these are some of the other stocks on the way down. Ultratech Cement, ONGC, and the two-wheeler guys, Hero Moto and Eicher, are starting lower. Bajaj is absolutely flat. So safe to say that it's almost impossible to highlight any trend, barring the fact that there's some buying in large cap IT that's evident. Everything else is either flat or listless. LTIMindtree is really piling on the gain now, 2.5% on the upside. Wipro, Infosys I mentioned. Let's just see if TCS is. No, TCS is actually not part of the upside, at least as of now. HCL Tech is, but overall, IT leading from the front, 22 points up on the Nifty.
Well, that's right, Surbhi. I know the one that's moving like a bazooka is Datamatics. Yesterday, the stock was up 20%. They had announced they're partnering with Microsoft to develop its own AI-focused Copilot solutions. So that one is again up closer around 9%. Big up move is what we're seeing on that counter. You have Tata Elxsi. That's pulling back a little bit. I'm looking at a Kotak note. They said that the company is excellent, but valuations are inflated. Valuations are around 61 times its forward earnings. They believe that, it's stretched, and that's why they have retained their sell rating out there. So Tata Elxsi is pulling back a little bit. GMM Pfaudler, large trade, 8% equity changing hands in pre-open. The street likes that the deal is out of the way. We'll have to find out who exactly is part of that deal. But for the time being, just take a look at that. A big up move is what we're seeing out there. A rank underperformer, down 10% in the last 1 year or so. But for the time being, it's pulling back some of those losses. A couple of other big movers. Trent is moved up by close to around 2%. It's bracing to get into the Nifty. The official announcement has already come in there. So bulk of those flows have taken place. But now, in the next couple of weeks, we'll have trend that moves in as well. On the flip side, RBL Bank down close to around 1.5%. Aarti Industries is down close to around 1%. I think we're an hour or couple of hours or so away from those fresh all-time highs. Today is the day.
And NIIT, did you mention? NIIT is finally cooling off. It's had a massive run, almost 45-50% in just a couple of days. A little bit of a cool off today, 4% lower.
All right, we've got about 20 points on the Nifty. 25,040 is where we are at. And we'll have the rates coming up. We should look back at the indices as well. Market breadth is positive, about 2.5:1 in favor of advances right now. I think, apart from what we've already mentioned, IFCI is up about 4%. So about 74, it's got very large volumes. BLS is up about 3.5%, 450 on BLS. We got Infi Beam, which is coming up with a 2.5%, I think can be safely ignored. EMS Limited, 4%, 4.5% higher, 885 on EMS Limited, it's got volumes. Insecticides, India is up 9%. Stocks are about 1,010 on Insecticides India. Kiri Industries has been having a fantastic run recently. From the lows of about 300, it's basically added 100 rupees in the last 2 weeks or so. That is Kiri. What else? Aptus value is up about 3%. But again, volumes are nothing to talk about. So we'll just sort of wait for volumes to pick up. If they do, and then we'll look at some more names here. Tata Elxsi is the big loser. It's down about 3%. Stocks at about 8,700. But you have Hindustan Zinc, which is down about 3.5%. RBL Bank is down about 2.25%. Ola Electric will come up on your screen. That is down about 1% as well. There is K Fintech, which is down about 3%. K Fintech 1,115. K Fintech, I think, was sort of a mover yesterday on the upside. It's giving up some of those gains. And NIIT, as Surabhi mentioned, is down 4%. But, you know, it's basically gone from $100 to about 107. I mean, yesterday's high, I think, was closer to 180. So that's a sharp 75-80% move very quickly. And today it's giving back about 4% of it. There is Nykaa, Policy Bazaar, Titagarh, Kalyan Jewelers. These are all large liquid names, and they're all down between 1.5 to 2% at this point in time. I mean, it's a quiet kind of a start. You got about, what, I think 20 points for the Nifty at about 25,040 or so. So that is some price action which is coming through.